What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. As you can see, I am barefaced again today, which means we're doing a get ready with me. This is gonna be like a Valentine's, Galentine's, fun, flirty, spring, feminine type of look that we're gonna be doing today. There's been a lot of Valentine's Day makeup releases the past couple of weeks that have been very tempting, but I've been resisting. So in this video, I'm gonna be mostly using just stuff that I already have. I've got some stuff from the Natasha Denona Love collection. I have some other beautiful spring favorites that I want to show you guys. I thought we could just sit down and do a fun Valentine's look. So if you guys want to see the look that I create, then keep watching. And if this is your first time here, then welcome. My name is Sophia, and this is my channel where we talk about all things beauty and luxury. Every single week I upload new content where we just have fun with makeup. I do a lot of reviews of new beauty releases. I also do luxury, fashion, and lifestyle videos. So if that sounds of interest to you, hit that subscribe button to join our fam, and you can also click the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and I'll be linking all the products in that description box down below. Let's get into it. Okay, party people, let's get into this. Get ready with me. I don't know if you guys noticed, but little Minnie has joined us today. She has really been enjoying lying on that little spot on the couch. She kind of goes through phases where sometimes she lies on that chair, sometimes she lies on the poof next to the chair, sometimes she lies on the couch, and she's going through one of those phases. So to start off our look, I'm actually gonna prep my lips. I just got this in a package. This is the RMS Lip Lights, and you know what? It's just like a really nice hydrating lip balm. It's supposed to be tinted. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is just a light pink. I don't think it adds any color, but I was testing this out yesterday and I thought to myself, it's a good lip balm. It's very thick. If you guys are familiar with that original Bite Beauty lip balm, the one that's just kind of like very nourishing, I think it might have been called a lip mask. That's what this reminds me of. It's super duper hydrating. So I thought we would just prep our lips with that today. And then for the base, I thought it would be fun to do just like a really fresh and glowy base. When I think of Valentine's Day or a Galentine's Day, I think of like fresh and youthful and kind of glowy skin. So one of the foundations that I picked up while I was in Miami last week is the #1 de Chanel. You guys have been recommending this to me for so long now, basically since it came out. And so I've basically just been testing this recently, and I do want to do a dedicated review of this, or maybe kind of a Chanel foundation guide where I show you guys, you know, all of the Chanel foundations I have and kind of help you choose which one would be right for you. I'll just let you know right off the bat, so far, I have been liking it. I'm curious how this is gonna be here now that I'm back in Boston and it's much colder and drier as opposed to in Miami where it was very humid. I almost feel like in Miami it was a little too much, like a little too glowy, because it was warmer and more humid there. So I'm just stamping this into the skin. You guys can see it's pretty lightweight, but it gives such beautiful, like radiant coverage. And I get a lot of questions about this. I'm using the Love is a foundation brush from IT Cosmetics. I thought that this would be very appropriate for this video. This brush is limited edition, but every year they come out with new ones. And I noticed they just came out with kind of like a floral spring version of this. So I'll link that down below. One of you guys sent me a message letting me know, and I was like, oh, I need to let people know about that. So here's the base that we're working with. As you can see, it covered everything that kind of just needed to be covered, smoothed out my complexion. I haven't decided yet if I like this better than the Le Beige Healthy Glow foundation. It's definitely a contender for my favorite Chanel foundation so far. I also recently got the Sublimage foundation, which I'm also testing. So I'll have to do a review in a couple of weeks after I've tested this thoroughly and let you guys know. For my concealer, I'm actually gonna be using the new Tom Ford concealer stick. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. I'm also testing this out, and I will also be doing a review of this concealer, but I don't like to do first impressions for concealers and foundations. I like to test them out for minimum 1 week before I post something. So I think I'm gonna use this for maybe like 2-ish weeks and then let you guys know what I think. But at least right now you can kind of see me do a little demo. And I am using the shade 0N0, one of the lightest shades. And I think this works pretty well for my under eyes. I'm just blending this out with my BK Beauty mini contour brush. Are you guys doing anything for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day? I actually have a dinner with one of my best friends tonight, so I'll be wearing this look to the dinner. And then this weekend I have a fun little Galentine's brunch to go to. So that was kind of like the inspiration for this video. And then I think next weekend, my boyfriend and I are gonna do something for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day I think is on like a Tuesday this year. It's a little too hectic with my schedule right now. So I think we're just gonna like take it easy and do something on the weekends. But comment down below and let me know, do you like Valentine's Day? Do you hate Valentine's Day? Are you doing anything fun? I like Valentine's Day. I think it's like a fun, cute little holiday where you can kind of like take a moment to show your love and appreciation for somebody. Pink and red are my favorite colors. I love all the candy and like the decor that comes out. Anytime you go into like a store and they got their Valentine's decorations up, it's like, who's not happy to see that? It's almost like, you know, Christmas is over, but we have this other fun little holiday to kind of, at least for me, get me through the winter. For bronzer, I wanted to pull out something that would be super soft and natural, and also with a little bit of like a pink undertone, because this is a Valentine's Day look. And so I pulled out the Grwm Terracotta Light, and this is the shade Light Cool. Because it is the cool shade, you'll see it has these little like pink sections right here, which just give it like a little bit of like a rosy undertone. And I'm going in with the new Niji Kayaki brush from Sonia G. It's a little bit like a mixture between a bronzer and a blush. It just gives you like a really nice, healthy glow. This is great for sort of transitioning from maybe like winter to spring if you don't want to go too bronze before it gets to be summertime. I mean, I know it's summertime for some of you guys. I think this look will work for everybody in both hemispheres. I showed you guys these new Sonia G Kayaki brushes in my last Get Ready With Me, the one that was like glowy getaway theme. So if you guys want more information on my thoughts of these new ones from Sonia G and a couple of comparisons with the ones that are in like the full size line, the original Kayaki, the original Sonia G Buffer Pro and Smooth Buffer, check out that video. I will link it down below. Just so you know, like they're great brushes. It just kind of depends on what shape you want, and if you know, if you want to spend like $75 on a brush, because I know these things can be expensive. Now for the cheeks, I definitely had trouble picking just one product because I just love blush. I feel like for this look, it's all about like that beautiful rosy flush. And so I picked out two different products that we're gonna kind of go between. The first one is from Givenchy. This is the Prism Libre blush, and this is in the shade Taffeta's Rosé. Let me show this to you all. So it comes with a little powder puff, and then I'm gonna try not to spill any. It's not that messy of a product, but you get 4 different shades and you kind of just swirl them all together. But this is just, oh gosh, it reminds me of a ballerina. It's like the perfect pink springtime type of powder blush. So we're gonna be going in with that. And then of course, the other product that I needed to pull out, which I love this product. This is the Natasha Denona Love Glow Face Palette. Check out this packaging. This is some of my favorite packaging. Doesn't this remind you of those little like tumblers that you might have had as a kid that had like the water and like the little glitter bits and everything in it? That's what it reminds me of. And this product, it has a cream blush, and then it has a couple of different highlighters and different formulas. So I think we're gonna kind of be going in between all of these today. I will double check to see if this is still available. I just shook up that Prism Libre powder and I already got a lot of pigment. You guys can see how rosy and pink this blush is. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that. I like these Sonia G buffer brushes for this because it's a loose powder. I feel like it just does a really good job of buffing it into the skin. And also these fit sort of perfectly right into the size of the powder component. So I'm just gonna kind of buff that into the skin. Look how pretty that is. And with the Chanel No. 1 foundation, I feel like we get a little bit of like that natural glow, but then the powder kind of sets it just a little bit. I'm also gonna just kind of take this onto the nose area as well for like a natural blushed kind of look. Do you guys like to do that? I usually like to kind of blend my blush everywhere, including up here on the temples and also on my ears, and sometimes also here on the throat, because I just feel like it kind of connects everything together. I think this is looking really pretty so far, but we are going to take it up a notch with the Natasha Denona Love Glow palette. I think I'm going to go very lightly into this shade. This is called the Super Glow. It's pretty pigmented, especially for my skin tone. So I'm gonna just tap a little bit off on my hand, and then I'm gonna once again like buff it into the skin with one of, this is actually the Sonia G Smooth Buffer. So this one's a little bit smaller, so it's better for highlight. At least I think so. And you don't need this product. I'm sure you guys have pink highlighters in your collection. Maybe you have the Grwm Meteorites. Maybe you have one of the Chanel illuminators, maybe the Camellia illuminator that Chanel came out with last year. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys have pink highlighters, and if you have a deeper skin tone, maybe you go for more of like a berry tone shade. I think that would be really beautiful. I really like the way that Natasha Denona layers all of the different formulas in these cheek palettes that she creates. And that's kind of what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna next go into this Baked Gelée highlighter right here. It is called the Glow Impact Powder. And I'm going in with my Wayne Goss airbrush. And I'm just gonna use this as a regular highlighter, but just on the tops of the cheekbones. These definitely pack a punch, but they're a little bit more subdued than like the super glow that we just went in with. And right there, you guys can see the beautiful highlight that we're getting. Finally, we're gonna go into this shade right here, which is called the Diamond Powder. And the way that I've seen Natasha do this is she just kind of takes it on her fingers. See how beautiful and luminous that is? And she just kind of like dots that right on top. And I know that this might seem a bit extreme, but every time that I do this, I get compliments on my blush look. People are like, what is on your face? How is your face so glowing? It just adds a little bit, like it just adds a tiny bit of sparkle that kind of catches the light. You can kind of see that glint, but it's not super chunky and glittery. I really do like this palette. I think that this is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. I did declutter like one or two of them because I really just want to use this one. I added a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand to the hollows of my cheeks just because I felt like I wanted a little bit more dimension to the face, and I also filled in my brows a little bit because next we're going to be doing the eye look, and I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Love Midi palette. This is one of my favorite palettes from Natasha Denona. I feel like this one was so underrated. I love all the beautiful tones that we get in here. We've got some pinks, we've got some purples, we have some other interesting shades right here. If you don't have this palette, there's still so many other pink palettes that are comparable to this, especially from Dior. I feel like this is pretty similar to the Dior Mitza palette that I recently reviewed for you all. Miss Dior 1947, Dior Rosa Mutabilis, Dior Rouge Trafalgar, Dior Poplin, like all of those palettes have very similar tones to this palette. If you have a pink palette at home, I'm sure you can probably recreate the look that we're gonna be doing today. But I wanted to give this girl her spotlight. So we're gonna be doing a look with this today. First, I think I'm gonna go into this shade, which is called Intense. It's just kind of like a medium toned rose to set a little bit of a base for this look, and I'm popping that in the crease. Next, I'm gonna go all over the lid with this shade, which is called Giving. It's a beautiful sparkly pink. It has like a little bit of like fuchsia shimmer to it as well. Did you guys pick up the new Natasha Denona face and eye palette that she just released, which was kind of like her Valentine's release for this year? I would love to know if any of you guys got it and if you like it. I thought it looked like a pretty palette, but you know what? I don't even really use the other one, the Glam Face and Eye palette, all that much, probably not as much as I should. And given that I have all of this stuff, I was like, I definitely do not need that. So I decided to pass on it and instead just use these products, these products that I'm using today. But it did look like a very beautiful palette. I would love to know, are there any other Valentine's Day themed releases that you guys picked up? Are you annoyed with all the Valentine's releases? I kind of like it because it just sort of is a very springy vibe. I don't mind it, but it does feel like just all the brands trying to capitalize on another holiday. You can see that shade has a little bit of duochrominess to it, a little bit of multi-dimension. I love the shimmer and the glimmer that it gives. One of my favorite shades in this palette is this beautiful pastel pink, which is called Valentine. Ooh. And I'm gonna be using this to brighten up my inner corner and just kind of add like a level of pinkness. This is not like a salmony type of pink like from the Retro Glam palette. It's very much a true petal pink, a Valentine's pink. And so I feel like there's less of a risk of this looking pink eye. It looks very, very intentional. And I'm just kind of applying that as a base. And I'm also going to go into this shade, which is called First, which is even lighter. It's almost nude, and just kind of blend that around the edges. I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. These are very pigmented, goodness. I've been doing a lot of like Chanel and Tom Ford demos lately and Dior, and sometimes when I go back to Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath, I'm like, whoa, forgot how pigmented these shadows were. To start creating a little bit more depth, I think I'm gonna mix the shades Soul and Passion. Soul is this matte, and then Passion is kind of like a, I guess like a plummy shimmer. So I'm just gonna like lightly mix those and start blending them into the crease, because I want to add like a little bit of a purple tone to this look. Yeah, this is adding some really pretty dimension. I feel like with this palette, you kind of can't go wrong because all the shades just pair with each other so well. Everything's in that pink and purple type of category. And I'm not like a big purple person, but in the right palette, it definitely works. I think a lot of times when I go full on purple, I'm doing a monochromatic purple look. Like I'm choosing to do purple, but I do like mixing it with the pinks that are in this palette. I think that mixing the matte and shimmer shades, it does add a little bit of softness. It's almost like creating your own satin shade, you know, like if you go in with a Dior shadow, you know, those are a little bit shimmery, but for whatever reason, because they're soft, they work really well in the crease. That's kind of what I did right there because I didn't want it to be too harsh. So if I remember correctly, I used to do a look with this palette where I would take the red shade, which is called Heart, and I would use it as a liner. So that's what I'm gonna try and do today. I'm trying to remember what I used to do because I love a certain look with this palette all the time when I first got it. So I'm just using this teeny tiny little brush from Refer, and I'm gonna create a little bit of like a red wing. What is up with all the brands releasing red eyeshadow lately? We started off with Grwm and a lot of like the Lunar New Year releases, and now we have like Chanel, we have Dior, we have Tom Ford. Everyone's coming out with red eyeshadow. Like, did we miss something? You know, everyone was falling for pink, and now all of a sudden we've got like these red eyeshadows. It's interesting how all these brands are doing the same thing. So I'm just creating this little baby wing right here, and I'll probably blend it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna blend it with a little bit of Soul to merge it into what I had just done. So I softened that wing up a little bit. Now I'm gonna go back into First, which is that almost nude shade, and I'm just blending around the edges just to keep everything super soft. I don't want this to look harsh. Now I want to start to brighten things up a little bit more. I'm going to go into the shade Transparent, which is this light kind of pinky champagne shade, and I'm going to apply that to the center of the lid, and I'm also going to put that in the inner corner of the eye, maybe taking it a little bit down here as well. You know what I also want to do? I want to go back into the Love Glow face palette, and I want to take some of the diamond powder and apply that to the center of the eye with the same little weasel hair brush that I'm using right here. I feel like this is just going to add like a little something extra in the center. Wonder what it would look like if I used my finger. That works as well. Ooh, I love this sparkle. Very nice. So that just kind of, see how that just kind of brightened the whole eye look so it doesn't look so monochromatically pink. I feel like when you're doing a pink eye look, if you're afraid of it looking a little bit pink eye or sickly or something like that, I think the trick is making it look super intentional by adding some of this dimension to the eye look. Next, I'm gonna go in with one of these Chanel Yo waterproof liners to kind of brighten up the under eye. This is in the shade Or Rose. This is the one that I showed you guys in my collection review of the Chanel Spring 2023 cheek and eye palettes. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Those palettes are coming to more stores probably at the beginning of March. And I told you guys in that video, this is, you know, it's not like a must-have, but it's a really pretty kind of light champagne rose type of eyeliner, and these eyeliners work so well in the waterline. I think that they're really good if you have, you know, a look that you just want to kind of like brighten up a little bit. So I'm putting that on the inner waterline. Now for the lashes, I think I'm going to do something that I don't normally do on my channel, which is put on some fake lashes, because if I'm going out for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, I usually do put on some lashes. I don't really do that so much in my reviews because I do more like everyday looks, but because this is kind of a special occasion, I'm gonna attempt to put on some lashes. I have these new ones from BK Beauty and they collab with Risa Does Makeup. And so thank you, BK Beauty. They actually sent me all of the lashes. And the two that stood out to me are number one, Day Club. These are very full, but they're very like fluttery, which I like. And then the other ones that I really like are these, which are called Martini. And these are half strip ones. I think I'm gonna use these because these are a little bit more my speed. I feel like they're gonna be easier to apply. So I'm gonna test these out and I'll be right back so you guys can see what the eye look looks like. I'm a little bit speechless right now because these lashes were insanely easy to apply. Usually I'm like fumbling around, it takes me a couple tries, especially on this eye. I just popped that baby on. Perfect. I think what's nice about these lashes is that the band is extremely thin and non-detectable. So even if it's not perfectly matched up, you can't tell. What I would love to see from BK Beauty, come out with more lashes. Come out with like super natural ones, super natural half lashes that like blend in really well. I would love to kind of pair with these more dramatic ones that they came out in this collection. I would love to see some that are like a little bit shorter because these have a lot of like volume and curl, which I think is great for kind of going out, but maybe not more for like an everyday type of situation. So I really, really like them. I just blended them in with my natural lashes with the Cali Ray mascara, come hell or high water. It's like a little bit dirty. I'm almost done this. I need to buy another one. This one in the Tower 28, man, they're so good. And I like to use these types of mascaras for blending in the lashes because it doesn't deposit too much mascara on the lashes because I'm gonna use these again on the weekend when I do my Valentine's brunch. But enough about the lashes, let's finish up this look with the lip. I brought out a couple here. The first lip product that came to mind was definitely the new Grwm lipstick in Rosy Bloom. This is the beautiful cherry blossom case. This did come back in stock, by the way, so I'll link it down below. And I'm so happy because a lot of you guys are able to pick it up. Those of you who weren't able to get it when it sold out super fast. The lipstick, unfortunately, at this time of me filming this video is still sold out. I'll do a quick little swatch for you guys right there. But as I was putting on these lashes, I thought of another really good Valentine's lipstick and it's from BK Beauty. This is the shade Passion. I'm gonna swatch this for you also. And it's, guys, it's almost identical. Okay, can you tell which one is which? Can you tell? Okay, this is the Grwm and this is the BK Beauty one. I can't remember if I said it, but this is the shade Passion. It's so good, and that's so funny because I love this shade. And when I used the Grwm one, I was kind of surprised. I thought it was gonna be a little bit lighter. So I think I'm gonna use Passion today because you guys can still get this lipstick from BK Beauty. They're super duper creamy and like luscious. It's a really, really good formula. It's actually pretty similar to the Grwm. So let's go in with this one. And follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, because when I see Rosy Bloom from Grwm come back in stock, I will let you guys know immediately. This is just like a very beautiful, romantic kind of color. And they also have lip liners. This is in the shade Pink Lady. And so I'm gonna just kind of tighten up the edges with the liner. I also have two little glosses here from McGrath. One is in Dare to Bear and the other one is in Pale Fire Nectar. So I thought maybe we could like use these as a little bit of a topper. I think I'm gonna go in with Pale Fire Nectar because look how cool that looks. This actually kind of looks like the lip gloss version of the shade that we went in with all over the lid on the eyes. So let me just put, you know, just a little bit. Just a little bit right there. A little bit right there. Yeah. All right, friends, so this is the final look. Let me get a little bit closer so that you guys can see. I'm loving the lashes. I'm vibing. I'm gonna have a good day. I have back-to-back Zoom calls all day until I have to head to my dinner in the evening. So I feel like I'm ready to go. I'm feeling confident. And for anybody that was feeling a little skeptical about that red winged liner, I feel like now you can kind of see how it blends into the look. It doesn't scream red. It's just like a nice little flash of kind of Valentine's dimension, so to speak. And I think that the complexion looks so beautiful. You can sort of see how all of those products just kind of melt in together. And once again, friends, you don't need to have these exact products in your collection. I'm sure you guys have a pink blush that you can use as a base, maybe a pink highlighter to put on top. Maybe you have a beautiful like eyeshadow topper that you can use instead of that Natasha Denona diamond powder. There's so many other products out there that can kind of like mimic these tones. So that's why I thought this would be a fun get ready with me to do. We're not quite done. We are gonna finish things up with a fragrance, which I thought would be fun. And the one that I chose for this look is Hermes Twilly. This just screams Valentine's spring feminine type of look to me. I mean, it has its own top hat. It has its own little top hat and its own little mini twilly. So I'm just gonna pop that off and give myself a little spray. This is a really beautiful feminine floral fragrance. For anybody that's wondering, I really like this. The only one that I have from Hermes, I know they have a couple of different ones now that have, there's one with more of like a gingery scent, for example, but I still really like the original one. Highly recommend. All right, friends, so that's all I have for you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this look and this chill little get ready with me. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and please let me know what other kinds of looks would you like to see me create in the future, maybe specific products that you want me to demo. I would love to know all of your suggestions. Also, let me know if you guys have picked up any of the recent Valentine's Day launches or if there's any products that you have been loving lately to kind of create this style of look. I hope that you guys have a very wonderful Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, whatever you guys are doing this week. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.